Welcome back. This is the AFCON Daily Show on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwao. My guests are still here, Kwame Bafo and Sednam Edmond. The show is proudly brought to us by Bet Power. If you want the biggest wins, biggest payouts, the best odds, Bet Power, that should be your platform. Even through the rest of the competition is now intense, so the stakes are high. So if you want to walk away with some good money on your bets, then Bet Power should be your best friends. Let's move on to the final topic. Guys, VAR. In other places, VAR is seen as an enemy and people want it out. But in the AFCON, people have been very impressed with what they've seen. I don't know your thoughts. Sednam, let me start off with you.
I've been really, really glad that this represents Africa. Africa has taken a technology that was not invented here and have bettered it, have even taught those who invented it how to actually use the technology. This goes to show that the whole semi-automated offside system, let's ask ourselves, is it really needed? Seeing what we are seeing so far at the AFCON. You can juxtapose it even against games that went on yesterday, VAR calls. Look at what's happening in the tournament. And for me, listen, I just have to hand it to them. They have been good.
Okay.
Officiating at this tournament has been one of the best I have seen at an AFCON.
Okay.
Which is a weird thing as an African to say about officiating. But we've got to give credit where it's due. We always complain about officiating at AFCONs, but for now, look at the various incidents and how they have been. The time at which resolutions have been reached has been really, really fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
And the quality of the decisions after seeing whatever happens on the monitor is class.
Kwame, why do you think the officials have scored high marks? Because other people use the same VAR. They don't seem to get the same great reviews. What is it about the referees? What have they done right in this competition?
There is video evidence in the first place. Referees have to make real-time decisions on the pitch every single time an incident happens. Okay, so sometimes it's a handball, you don't see it quickly, and then something happens. Then you are confronted with the video evidence for you to see for yourself what should have been the decision.
Okay.
I mean, I don't get how difficult it is for even, referees from other parts of the world that we've been watching, and make it. Sometimes I am inclined to believe that it's all part of their strategy to make their product get more talk or other things, forgetting that it's hurting other teams. So I'm not actually surprised at what we've done at the Africa Cup of Nations, where I'm confronted with the video evidence of the ball hitting the hand. The Morocco versus South African game. The ball, we all saw that the guy had stretched his hand, made himself bigger. The ball struck the hand. What is there to counter against that? It's clear enough. So I'm not surprised that we've gotten all the decisions spot on and right. I mean, the video evidence is there for us to all to see that. Make the correct decisions and let's move forward. So I'm very much impressed that we've stamped our authority on that, made the right calls to create less, because already look at the way, I think there was one incident, and go and see the way the Daily Mail reported it. AFCON, that was the penalty, there was this penalty, I've forgotten, one of these games. AFCON penalty, the Ivory Coast versus Senegal penalty.
Yes.
It says the AFCON referee, that's the tag, AFCON referee fails to spot something until VAR intervenes. I mean, VAR has given us an opportunity to, and we've made the right decision, but you see the way the report is being tagged and all of that. So imagine we're making very bad calls to it. It's going to, so I think one of the key things CAF has decided to do is to make sure that we make the right decisions we make use of the technology and use it very well. Now everybody in the world is talking about how the VAR is being used at the Africa Cup of Nations. It's become a topping point up to the point that we are sitting here discussing how great the VAR is being used. I hope you get where all of this is going. I mean, it's part of I'm sure it's a deliberate PR thing by CAF to just create a positive image about the competition to the world. And I'm very happy that we are being discussed in a good light other than any other.
All right, guys, maybe you can give me a few examples of your favorite uses of VAR in this conversation. Now, let me start off with you. Which incident or incidents can you mention off the top of your head and say that the fact, and state the fact that VAR did a good job in your opinion?
2 red card events. I think that was the red card that saw in the Cameroon game. Is it Cameroon? The first Cameroonian game they played, there was a red card incident.
Okay.
And that for me was spot on.
Okay.
You go in like that, you have to take
Cameroon, Guinea.
Cameroon, Guinea.
The captain of Guinea getting that red card.
It was a solid red card for me all day. And even the penalty Persital missed. That whole sequence, great. It's not now they are going to turn it to a different angle. Just one angle, the ball is hitting his hand. What else is there? Like, listen, I just love VAR at this tournament. No, I just love it. And the instances are there and there. Even the Amrabat incident.
Yes.
That was very dramatic. Because he had given you a yellow card. I was wondering, what was the guy going to check again? He was like, okay, you come. Yellow card, no. Red card, get off the pitch.
I mean, like, it's for people might not understand, but those 2 cards are 2 different things.
Yes.
Okay.
2 different things. Double yellow stands for something else. Your suspension is different. Straight red is different. So he needed to stamp that authority, and it was right. And there have not been any dubious offside calls. Me.
I see. Kwame,
mine would be the Cameroon-Nigeria game, the first goal.
Yes.
You see, many people miss that offside rule. The moment the keeper comes, he becomes part of the outfield players. There was one player in there. That player becomes a goalkeeper or something, and so that whole decision, many people miss that kind of call. For VAR to be able to come in and make that right call at that point to cancel that goal, I mean, it was spot on for me. Those are the things that create debates for people to talk about. Why is the player?
I remember when it first happened.
Yeah.
This was in the Champions League final in Paris. Liverpool, Real Madrid. Real Madrid scored a goal. Yeah. And people were wondering why the goal was ruled out for offside, and then the explanation came that there was a player on the line.
Yes.
Alisson Becker was out. That player had now become a goalkeeper.
So those are the things that provide education. I'm sure a lot of people will be arguing. People who perhaps are not watching the Champions League like yourself and myself. That's a goal. That should stand because the goalkeeper, blah, 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 and all of that. So all of those things coming in, creating that level of education. I mean, it's the best use of VAR for us.
Since we're talking VAR, what about officiating? What have you made of officiating? Said now I'll get your thoughts.
It's been very good. I haven't had so much issues with officiating. I mean, obviously there will be games where the referees are whistle happy or card happy, just flashing out the cards. I like how they've cracked. You know, one thing I've really loved about the AFCON referees, how they've not cared about their stars. How they've...
the Gabonese referee versus Mohamed Salah.
And there's even one... I felt that was what the Egyptians were trying to do. You guys should find a clip and play. There was this one between Hegazi and then the referee for the game against Congo. They kept exchanging.
Yes,
I don't know if you've seen it.
At the start of the game.
At the extra time.
So the ref tosses the coin. He's trying to determine the side people will be playing to us. And I'm Hegazi is
trying to talk down the referee. The referee says, you have to keep quiet. Listen to me or something. Then the referee,
he's asking to shake the referee. The referee doesn't even want to shake his hand.
I mean, the referee, you could see. So it's how the referees have attempted to stamp the authority and not allowing the game to go out of hands, out of their hands. Because when the game is ongoing, the referee in the center of the field is the man that wields all the authority to ensure that the game is played in a very orderly manner. So these referees have not allowed themselves to be bullied by these stars they equally watch on the television, playing in big teams, in the Champions League finals and all of that. They tell you that we can officiate the World Cup. So I mean, our referees have in Africa are making a very good case for themselves to be able to, have the opportunity. And we've also had our Ghanaian referee there, Daniel Lai.
Yes.
He's been brilliant. I mean, he was the VAR referee for the last game, the Morocco versus South Africa game. All the VAR decisions that were spot on. He was there.
To Daniel Lai. Every time I hear Daniel Lai's name, though, I inadvertently think about referee J. Olamte. Why? Because Daniel Lai was his assistant the day he gave that very infamous ghost penalty that got the South Africans talking and eventually led to J. Olamte's, you can call it demise if you like, or getting kicked out of the refereeing thing. So shout out to Daniel Lai. I don't know whether he's watching the show, but shout out to Daniel Lai. Very, very good referee. He went to Accra Academy, by the way. Let's put that on record too. Yeah, he did. So the officiating has been great. I guess from this point onwards, it becomes the standard, and CAF will have to improve on that. You mentioned, referees have the authority. What has it been down to? Is it CAF getting quality referees coming from the country? Is it a policy that has been put in place? Can anybody hazard a guess? Because previous AFCONs have been really littered by very, very horrible officiating.
For even officiating officials ending the game before 90 minutes.
Yeah, Yannis Sikazwe, my favorite referee of all, Yannis Sikazwe.
The famous one.
A lot of excuses for him.
So they had heat stroke. So couldn't follow them. But guys, what do you think is just down to this high quality referee?
I would say it's two things. Like you said, quality from the countries themselves, and then the policies as well. They have to go hand in hand to get such delivery on the do I say continental stage, or at this point international stage? Because if the quality is not good, you'd have all the equipment ready. You'll be making wrong calls. We are seeing it. People have the same and even better by making horrible decisions. We are making do of what we have, getting the right referees from the right countries in this case. Quality has been top notch. I just have to give it to them. And the way they have put the whip down, even on the officials, the coaches, I have to give it to them.
I see.
I have to give it to them.
I can't help but agree. I mean, the quality of the officials themselves, I mean, the quality comes with your ability to apply the rules, because there are strict rules to how the game should be. Even discretionary, calls, the referees have, to a large extent, gotten it right. So that's with the quality and the policy. I mean, giving them the opportunity to stamp the authority without anyone undermining them. I'm sure, players or team officials go through pre-tournament training, briefings, and all of that. And I'm sure it's been made clear to them that there is no way we would allow anyone undermine the authority of the referees. Now, even with dissent, 2 minutes, 2 seconds into the game, any dissent at all, a yellow card will be flashed. So players are gradually getting accustomed to that and all of that. So it gives the referees the opportunity to that. So I largely agree with Sedinam on that.
But just thinking about Daniel Lai, I'm sure we want to have more quality, more Ghanaian quality represented at that level. And I hope that he inspires referees who are down here, that it is very possible to get up there, to get up there and be part. So look, we hope that the FA will do what it can. It will work with the Referees Association. Let's get better referees coming through. Let's train them better. Because if you look at the heights that Daniel Lai and co have attained now and in years past, it is very possible for Ghanaian referees to get to the highest level. And for us, it's a source of pride.
Of course.
Ghanaian referees.
But one thing you would credit Daniel Lai for has to be with a personal responsibility to develop himself to that level. I mean, there's what the federation would do. But you watch Daniel Lai every single time. he's taken it upon himself to develop himself to a world-class referee to be able to officiate at that level. So the referees in Ghana, we see your calls on a GPL every single week.
Dodgy.
Every single
Dodgy
week.
straight.
We see your calls.
Dodgy
The calls
straight
that you have been
calls
making,
in the
those
Ghana Premier League.
little penalties, dubious, we see it every day. If you don't fix it, they won't call you. You'll be a local champion.
All right. We'll wrap it up in a few minutes. Let's